Well, hey, mamas. Hello, hello. Think we've got everything all set up today. So, welcome to another video all about fireworks and specifically about learning styles. So, we're talking about how fireworks have something to do with your learning style. Okay. We're going to talk about height and color and sound. Those are the three characteristics of fireworks that I feel like really tie in nicely to learning styles. So before we get going and figuring out how these show you your learning style, let alone how you can really get a hint as how your teen learns, be sure to hit that follow button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, no matter if you're here on Facebook or YouTube, and let me know. Is color your thing? Is the sound your thing? Or do you really look forward to the height and like fireworks that fly for your favorite characteristic? Okay. Now, I do also want to tell you I've got an awesome freebie waiting for you, but we'll talk about that at the end. So let's talk about this. Let's start with the first characteristic, color. Now, for me as a visual learner, I love color. No matter if we're talking writing in colored pens, no matter if we're talking about highlighters or colored sticky notes, or even fireworks. Okay, so if your child is loving the fireworks that are in different colors, and is always remarking about, wow, how pretty that purple is, or wow, that red is like like the best red. I mean, the color makes a big deal. Okay, now the other thing I think about when we're talking like fountains, like ground fireworks or things you light at home, not necessarily like a fireworks show. Do know some of those fireworks have like the blinking, they have like the sparkly effect, they have the different kind of, like I said, effects, the pyrotechnics, essentially, the sparkling versus the crackling versus like, the strobing, the changing colors, all of those things. If your child looks forward to something with lots and lots of colors, that's a big indicator visual learning is most likely in effect. Okay. So colors make a huge difference to those of us who love visual learning. Okay. Now, if you watched yesterday's video, you probably know the sound characteristic goes with the auditory learners. Okay, so again, thinking back to fireworks, those snaps, those crackles, okay, those are sounds. I also think about actually some of my own mama's favorites fireworks. She loves those. I think they're called killer wasps. I always forget what they're called, but they have like the bees, the wasps on the outside. They like scream, they shriek. She loves those. And that whooshing sound, I love those diamonds that fly. That's what we always look at them, or they're those pills or spaceships, whatever you call them. Again, they fly, they make the sound. Okay, if your child or even you, mama, you're so focused on, okay, I need that crackle, I need that whoosh, I need that sound, that's an indicator auditory learning. Okay, so we talked about how to tie in the learning style into like a study session yesterday. Tomorrow we'll talk more about how to tie it into like a job. But do know today, since we just had the 4th of July here in the States, and I know, other times other countries do fireworks, or sometimes we just do fireworks for fun, because where I live, they're still shooting them off for whatever reason. But definitely, those are two of the learning styles, visual and auditory, and those are two of the characteristics, the color and the sound. There's one more to go here, so it's probably kind of obvious what the height would be kinesthetic, but I want to share why that's kinesthetic. Okay, while that's very tactile, while that's very hands-on. Before I do, if you're here, if you're watching, thank you so much. I want to say I'm Jessica Coulter, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. I help teens love to learn by teaching them how to learn. And I do that through study skills. And even kind of more detail than that, I teach teens how to learn by personalizing their learning through these study skills and through these learning styles, learning preferences. Okay, so once we know how your teen learns, whether he's visual, whether she's auditory, whether she's kinesthetic, we can then figure out, okay, how do we make all these study skills, the 12 that I teach, how do we incorporate that in a visual way? How do we make this idea of, organizing, or this idea of motivation much more kinesthetic? Okay, because once we know how your teen likes to learn, and we know the study skills that your child needs, which is all 12 that I teach, I have yet to meet a student who knows all of them and is proficient at knowing how to learn. Do know it's just a matter of tying in those learning styles to get your teen's interest and actually make it effective to know how to learn and how to study. But let's talk about this some more. Let's talk about the fireworks. Okay, it's my favorite holiday. I'm not sure how many of you love the 4th of July, but I love it. I really think it and Halloween Might be tied for first, but I love the 4th of July. But kinesthetic learners, the height, that makes me think of movement, okay? Like even just the act of lighting off a firework, we're talking again, the home fireworks, this is very much a kinesthetic thing. So if your child loves to light them and then run, your child loves to build the different kind of setups. Sometimes in my family we'll light off a couple artillery shells at once. So you do this and I'll do this. And, there has to be a lot of timing, a lot of careful planning that goes into this, but definitely do know the act of lighting, but then also the height is movement. Okay. There's a big difference between us lighting a fountain and it's just doing its thing on the ground versus something that takes off. Okay, like the diamond I talked about, whether it's an artillery shell, whether it's just Roman candle. Okay, so many different choices there. But height means movement. Kinesthetic learners love movement. They crave it. They need to be hands-on. They need to be off their butts. They need to be on their feet as much as possible, almost all the time. Okay, so those are 3 characteristics of fireworks. Those are the 3 learning styles. So definitely think about what fireworks your child likes. Think about, okay, is there always a lot of discussion about the colors? Is there more discussion about, wow, that one went this far up, or wow, that one barely left the ground, or ooh, that one's really spinning fast, or, I want to like the next one. I want to like the next one. Okay. So thank you so much for watching, Mama. Be sure to follow, be sure to subscribe, and even more importantly, send me a message on Facebook or even drop a comment. And what I was trying to say before I lost my train of thought there was drop the word study. Okay, STUDY, drop it below so I can send you the newest freebie, the newest creation I've made for you. That's going to help your teen love to learn by knowing how to learn. So see you tomorrow for another video all about learning styles, all about how those learning styles relate to the workforce and what jobs your teen might want based on that learning style. Thanks so much, mamas.